Hi everybody, riding up here in the North Georgia foothills and mountains, and just checking out some more areas I haven't been to yet. Thought I'd be remiss if I didn't do what all old guys are supposed to do. You know, we're supposed to impart knowledge and wisdom upon all you young guys with heads full of mush that don't have any experience. And trust me, the older you get, you don't have that much wisdom, but you do have a lot of experience. And I would never in a million years give anybody advice and tell them not to do something. Now, I'll tell my kids not to do something, and my grandkids, because that's my job. And I'm not going to shirk that responsibility. If I see them headed for a train wreck, I'm going to say something about it, and somebody should. But on the other hand, you know, we all have free will. It's a free country. You shouldn't look back on your life and say, damn, I wish I had done that. Even though it might be a little risky. Now, personally, I've never skydived. I don't have anything against skydiving. The opportunity just never presented itself. It's a little pricey. There is something about jumping out of a perfectly functioning airplane. However, there's nothing wrong with it. I've actually paraglided before. Went and took some lessons, jumped off a 200-foot mountain, and you glide for about 20 seconds, 30 seconds before you had to land. That was all part of my training, and I did that. I really enjoyed that. I paraglided for a while, and so I'm not, you know, I will trust a parachute. It's just I haven't done it yet. But now, I'm not looking back on that and saying, gee, I wish I had done that. I'm not so old that I couldn't still do it. I had a president, the first George Bush, did it on, what was it, his 90th birthday? 80th? I can't remember what it was. And I'm a long way away from there. But next month, it will be a year since I have retired. And I'll, of course, be a year older. And what have I learned about retirement? Well, number one, I highly recommend it. If you live long enough to get to retirement, I know you're going to enjoy it. Or at least I hope you will. There are downsides to everything. My wife works. She's still working. She works about 3 days a week, which is better than 5 or 6 days a week. But she's gone all day. Doesn't get in until late at night. So, you know, we're still, I consider us newlyweds. We've only been married 3 years. And, you know, I still like hanging out with her. You know, so that's a downside. But, you know, I have plenty of time to do stuff around the house, her house. My house in North Carolina is suffering a little bit from me being down here so much. But I can do little projects at a time. She doesn't care if I do much or not. I keep the grass cut. I fixed the toilet the other day. She's real happy with that. The little things, you know, that's what you learn as you get older. It's not the big world-shaking things. It's not the big stuff you see in the news. It's a little thing. Does the toilet flush? Does it keep running after it flushes? You know, those are the things that mean something to us when we get older. You know? And not that our lives get pitiful when we get older. I will tell you right now, without fail, without a doubt, I am the luckiest guy you're ever going to hear about and or ever meet. I was adopted at 3 months old to the two of the best parents anybody could ever have. I was fortunate to have both my parents up into my 30s. My dad lasted longer, up into my 50s. And I've got 2 great kids. I've got 7 wonderful grandchildren. I've got friends. I've got you guys on YouTube, the guys that have subscribed to me. I have got to do almost everything in life I've ever wanted to do. I wanted to learn how to fly a small airplane. I did. I wanted to own my own small airplane. I did. I wanted to ride motorcycles. I've been doing it for over 40 years. I'm still doing it. I've been in great health, except for a couple of times in the hospital to fix broken bones, collarbone, things like that. I've never been sick in the hospital a day in my life. I don't actually have a doctor right now, which is suiting me fine. I do have a dentist. I must admit my teeth have suffered over the years, but they're going to get me through, I think. I think I'll live long enough. I think they'll last long enough for as long as I'm going to live. So I'm going to be good there, but I'm fortunate. I have the regular ailments that old people have, you know, but nothing, you know, nothing serious, is I guess is what I want to say. Knock on wood. Knock on my wooden helmet, head, whatever. Oh, look at that view. Starting to get some pretty decent views off this road. But what I wanted to say was, you guys who are younger, and I know that a whole lot of you guys, you've got a mortgage, you got a car payment, you got a bike payment, you might be married, you might have kids, you might be older like me, you might have grandkids, but you might still be working, still have a few years left on the mortgage. I know that you have to prioritize, and I know what's important. I work 6 days a week, spend 3 hours a day on the road to provide for my family. And on that 1 day off a week, I like to go do stuff that I wanted to do. Now, I spent plenty of time with my family at night, and we did do things together, but there were times when I said, look, I've just got to go do something for my own mental health. And whether that had something to do with ending my marriage at 25 years, my first marriage, I don't know, maybe. But, you know, there's an old saying, you know, why were we created only to suffer and die? Well, I like to look at it like this. Why do we work our whole lives away to not enjoy life? So, figure out a way, some way, something that costs money if you have to, something that doesn't cost any money. A lot of people like to fish. That's the price of a fishing line license. You can do it with a cane pole and a cork, my favorite kind of fishing. Dig you up some worms in the garden, or if you're a rich guy, go pay $3 for a little carton of red worms. And go out and spend an afternoon under a shade tree with a grandkid, or just by yourself. Or one of your kids. Just go out, and those are the memories. Those are the times you have. My dad and I used to go to when I was before I was driving, my dad and I would go to a friend of his had a lake that was out in the middle of the country, all locked up. Nobody could get into it. Just a little pond, really. And we would go out there and fish. And I have more memories of that than I do of memories of stuff that I went off and did on my own. Because it was with my dad and I had a great time. You can make all these memories now, and you got to make them now, because if you don't, you're not going to have them when you get to my age. And I could literally sit here and talk for days about all the stuff, all the hobbies I've had, all the, you know, things like that. I never was a big trip taker. I never went anywhere, so I did a lot of stuff around my house, a lot of stuff near me, a lot of fishing, a lot of skiing, both snow and water skiing. Just had a great time. But, you know, it's easy for me to say now because you're, you know, it's just easy for me to say. But what I'm trying to tell you is, take the time to, what do they say, smell the roses? Take the time to go out there and have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Make some memories for your older years. You're going to want them. All right, guys, I'm going to knock off for just now. I've just now turned onto this really good road, number 136, and I'm just going to start another video here. I don't believe I've been here before, although it does look familiar, but I don't know. Oh well, we'll shoot a video of it anyway. See you later.